YouTube, what the crap is going on? Air of Carthage here, bringing you some more Poland-Lithuania campaign. We are close to the end, and here's some of my men putting down a Turkish counterattack at Istanbul. This is the remainder of the Turkish forces. Basically, it's an Israeli unit. You can see my line infantry duking it out with them. On this particular campaign, right now I am using the Diggy's musket sounds and artillery sounds, as well as the Smoke and Blood mod. I'll be using it on campaign. I don't use the Smoke and Blood mod on the online replays, just because it sometimes corrupts the replay. In any case, you can see me just routing them out. I'll catch you back on the campaign map, and we'll catch up on where we're at. Alright, here we are back on the campaign map. Some of you may notice that it's slightly different than where I left off in the last video. That's because I forgot to save my game, which was an unfortunate nuisance, but I have played it back to a similar point as to where I was, and now we're going to basically finish the job. So I only need to capture 3 more provinces in order to have victory, now that we control Vienna, which I did take care of in our last video. So there's going to be a couple places I strike. I'm going to move this main army from, or I said Vienna, I meant, yeah, now that I have Vienna, I'm going to move this army from Vienna to Zagreb, and then on to Venice, because Venice has joined the Austrians. So that's going to be the way I start moving now. So I'll go ahead and make my move on Zagreb. We won't show that just because that's not going to be an interesting fight whatsoever. And of course I'm going to try and repair this town and move on quickly, so we'll retrain my troops. Vienna is going to remain quite angry just because I recently captured it from the Austrians. So there's still going to be a lot of rebellion going on, basically. I'm going to go ahead and try and train some militia to help hold this city as well. Seemed like I had another army in this. Oh yeah, I did. It's right here. So I have this army as well. We can start marching towards Württemberg. In fact, we can take Württemberg. I'm just going to go ahead and siege Württemberg. So we should be in pretty good shape. I think we're 1 province away from victory condition at this point. Let's go ahead and end this turn. Hope you all are excited. I'm going to use the Winged Hussars for the first time in the campaign. Also happens to be basically the final battle. In Venice, I'm going to try and get the AI to come out and face me, so I'll siege them in their fort. Just that way I get a chance to try and get some good Winged Hussar charges in there. I mean, there's pretty much not much they can do when the enemy is hiding inside the fort. So we'll see if we can draw them out. Sweden wants me to give them empiricism, and they'll give me 1,000. Sure, why not? I'm at peace with Sweden as of recent, so I don't have any problem with that. Not to mention it's late in the campaign, and I don't really see how empiricism is going to give them any decisive advantage over me. The Barbary states continue to want a peace treaty, but I don't like to sign a peace treaty with them just because so many people hate them. Sometimes it's bad for your diplomacy to be at peace with those that everybody else despises. Just something to keep in mind. It may not matter, but that's the way I guess I'm going to deal with it. So we're going to go over here and siege in the Venetians. They have a whole other army here, so I'm hoping that they will go ahead and put a counterattack punch on me. I'll actually come up here and stop for 1 turn in an attempt to draw them out into an even more open ground type strike, and also give my guys a chance to retrain the few troops that I am missing. It's not many though, and I don't expect that it's going to be a big issue. Okay, I've got the Austrian siege there. I could now take this army and start marching south through the mountains and come up behind Vienna from the back way, so we'll go ahead and pincer in the Austrians, the Venetians. Let's go ahead and end 1 more turn. Hopefully this army right here will finish retraining. This has really been a fun campaign to play, and I apologize that it's gotten drawn out through so much time and that I messed it up by not saving my game, but I really do enjoy the Empire Total War campaigns, and I kind of doubt this will be my last. But now that I've finished this one, there's a couple of campaigns that I would like to get to. They want military access, and me to give them Prussia. No. There's a couple of campaigns I'd like to do. I'd like to do the USAG campaign on Shogun 2, because that's one that I've been waiting to do for a long time. But I'd also like to do a Rome campaign, just since Rome 2 is coming out. Perhaps I'll do like a little bit of campaign footage from one of those, and I don't know, maybe I'll look at some mods and see if that would be, I don't know, would you all rather me do it on the vanilla, or would you rather see me do it on a mod? Let me know what you think. and I'll take a look at the possibilities there. And while I do that campaign, I'd kind of like to just discuss what we might be looking for in Rome 2, and discuss any news that's come out about Rome 2. So I'm thinking that's what the Rome campaign will be. It'll almost also be like a forum for me to pass on updates about the upcoming release of Rome. I'm going to go ahead and siege the Venetians here. I'll continue the siege. And I'll bring these troops in over here behind me so that they can be used as reinforcing troops. That should be good. I do want those household cavalry under my control, so I'm actually going to swap that Reg horse, and then I'll bring the 2 household cav into that army. So now this army's got an extremely potent cav component. I've got 5 heavy cavalry in that army. So let's go ahead and end this turn and see if we can get the Venetians to attack. I have a pretty imposing force, so I'm not sure if they'll try and counterattack or not. Hopefully they will. I think that it'll make it more interesting. Looks like the Austrians are going to deploy against me. It's giving them fantastic odds for just being firelock armed populace. It kind of almost scares me to auto-resolve. I don't know, let's see what happens if I do. Okay, good. I guess the auto-resolve was just a little bit glitched or something. That would have been pretty horrible to see that army lose to a bunch of firelock armed populace. Looks like Russia has declared war on Courland. And I am not going to enter the war on the side of Courland because Russia is a much bigger threat. So I'm going to decline. The last thing I want in the last couple of turns is for Russia to start invading my lands and complicate everything. So, sorry Courland, you're on your own. I remember in an alternate Poland campaign back in the past, Courland betrayed me anyway, so I guess it's time for me to betray them. Sorry if any of you are from, like, Latvia. I mean, I don't really have anything against them. Let's see, so the Venetians, I have an opportunity to intercept them, which would kind of be interesting. So I get to intercept this army, and then the remainder of their armies have to come out and face me. They do have a lot of troops, but I might be able to pin them up on the edge of the map. So I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to try and crush the Venetians while they're outside their fort. Alright, the battle started, and unfortunately my most expensive winged hussar units and household cav were right in the path of their crappy sakers. So I am going to charge them down right now before they can cause any further damage to my cav in this area. But they probably killed 10 or 15 of my cav units just right off the bat. Oh, looks like a whole bunch of the reinforcements just came from the side of the map and are into my grenadiers. I'm not sure that that's really the best target for them to attack. All they've got is a general's bodyguard. Man, they just took down more of my horsemen. The stupid cannons refire a lot faster than I would like. I'm gonna go try and take this Reg horse unit down. My heavy cav's about to get involved here. Looks like my winged hussars made quick work of those sakers. That was to be expected. There's an infantry fight going on in this other vicinity. Looks like I've got more cav into me over here. It's just a general's bodyguard cav, and it's engaged some of my line infantry, so I expect that it'll get killed. And there's also a Reg horse in there. They're coming from all over the map, to be quite honest. Let's see if I can get some of my men freed up back here. Hit some of these line infantry. I've got that Reg horse pinned down. Let's go hit some of these other infantry from behind with my winged hussars. I forgot the Venetians were going to receive the reinforcements, so things are probably going to get a little hectic for me for just a moment here. I believe they're shooting at my cannons. My general's bodyguard is in danger, so I'm going to try and get him out of the line of fire. Alright, I think my household cav shouldn't have any problem tearing down these linemen. least I don't think they will. There is enemy troops kind of coming into the vicinity. I'm going to take out some of these line infantry right here. Good, my household cav were successful in that attempt. Then here comes my winged hussars. They're going to put a devastating charge down onto these line infantry. Should pretty much knock those guys out of commission. I'm going to pull all my heavy cav out as they're being approached by infantry, and I don't want them to get too shot up. Okay, I'm going to get them out. There we go. I think we beat the Venetians there for a moment, so I'll flip some guys around to face that oncoming threat. There are Venetians everywhere. It's like they just keep coming in like flies here. And they're getting shots off on my winged hussars, which I don't like. I do have some light dragoons that were hid in the forest. I'll pull them out. It's my general's bodyguard. I'm going to take it out over here. I do believe we're starting to turn the battle around. The Venetians put up a decent fight. Mainly due to my complete incompetence, as far as remembering that they were going to come from all sides. I probably should have started us just a little ways back as a safety, but I do believe that I have the situation well under control at this point. I say that, I don't know, I just got engaged in melee over here, and it's going to turn into a desperate situation. So let's flip this battle around. Took out that reg of horse. I need some cav support over on this other flank. Venetians, of course, are chasing my cavalry with all their infantry, so I'm going to need to keep moving. I am a little concerned about this flank over here. I did reinforce it with some more line, but it was my grenadiers in the melee, and even though they were heavily depleted, grenadiers are a very potent melee unit. But now I'm having some problems right here in the center. Really need these guys to take them down so I can get that line infantry routed. I'm going to pull my winged hussars actually back in this direction. We'll hit those infantry from behind. Looks like that big melee blob actually went in my favor, surprisingly. I think I'm going to run another melee blob just to take out that line infantry. I'm going to hit this cannon unit real quick. And I'll see if I can hit that line infantry unit from the flank. And we'll hit some of these line infantry units from behind. Run those forward a little bit to try and get out of range of these guys. I've got a winged hussar attack coming in on the rear of all these units. This is going to be pretty devastating. In fact, you can see them already wavering. And they rout before the charge even gets them. Both units. Can't say I blame them. I wouldn't want to be getting hit behind from those kind of Lancer units either. I think we have a general rout going on. Oh man, they went into a square formation there. My household cavalry has gotten an absolutely huge number of kills. Okay, let's pull this around. Let's try and take out the remainder of some of these Venetian troops. Let's use my light dragoons to shoot these guys a little. There's more Venetian troops pouring in from over here. It's mostly firelock armed citizenry. And even though my household cav is exhausted, I'm pretty certain they can handle that kind of threat. I've got my light dragoons into a fire at will mode here. Hit some of this firelock armed citizenry. Usually once your light dragoons have fired their shots, not a bad idea to go ahead and charge them in. I do have the enemy troops back here in a rout as well. So it looks like we're going to be successful in this battle. Sorry I didn't get you like a whole ton of close-ups. But you can see that I did poorly enough with my micromanagement, so I probably should have focused everything I could there. My household cavalry is just absolutely and utterly exhausted at this point. They can probably barely even keep up with infantry. That square is shooting at me, so I'm going to deal with them appropriately. I'm going to line up, turn on my fire at will, and my light dragoons should massacre that square. There's more Firelock Armed citizenry coming onto the map, and I'm just going to route them as they come on. Let's watch the square get mowed down by my light dragoons. This ought to be fairly entertaining. You can see in that nice compact formation, my light dragoons were able to absolutely trash that square. So you can see that they're going to probably rout there. Always want to take your light dragoons off of fire will though whenever you start to charge onto a new target. And that's because if you don't, they can end up shooting each other. I'm going to try and pull some more of my heavy cav back in this direction. I've got them spread out all over the place, killing the routing Venetian troops. Got my bodyguard way out there too, and at this point that's really all it is I'm just killing the units that are coming onto the map. I can't even imagine how many kills my household cavalry have got. They're going to end up having a ton. But they should be trouncing these Firelock Armed populace. Those type of units really aren't set up to be fighting cavalry. And even though my guys are exhausted and they suffer that penalty, they should have a pretty easy time cutting these guys down. Of course, nothing happens too fast in Empire Total War. This game is definitely a little bit slower paced than what you see in some of the other Total Wars. But that's okay. I kind of like the pace in this game. There goes the remainder of the Firelock Armed troops, and I believe that is going to give us a victory over the Venetians. I'm definitely interested to see the number of kills that some of my guys got. I do see a couple more Venetian troops back in this vicinity. Let's pull some infantry up. All my cavalry is going to be absolutely exhausted at this point. These are some Venetian line infantry units that have come in as reinforcements apparently. Man, the Venetians had reinforcements coming from absolutely everywhere on this map. But I do remember that they had like 4 armies in the vicinity. The Venetians are going to try and shoot my cav first, so I'm not going to really present them with that target. I'm going to make them shoot at my infantry, and then I'll charge on my cav. It looks like they're pretty much committed at this point. I'm going to actually take the rest of these troops off of fire will because I don't want them to shoot my cav. I can see this unit of Venetian line is reforming in an attempt to stave off my winged hussar charge. These winged hussars are exhausted, but I do expect that this charge will still be painful. These guys did get off some bullets, but I killed a decent number of their men off the charge. I'm going to go around the back. Winged hussars are actually pretty good at taking out infantry. They're usually better whenever they've got, you know, they're a little less tired. They'll do better on the charge and whatnot, but you can see that they've still already taken out 20 of these linemen there, and they're going to rout them fairly easy. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's going to be it, finally, for the Venetians. At least I think so. I don't see any other Venetian flags. So let's get back to the campaign map, see what happens. Alright, let's check out the kills here. Wow, my household cavalry did do very well. One of the units got over 100 kills, which is a lot for cavalry. One of my winged hussars also got a large number of kills. So that was a pretty good battle. I didn't do great. I lost a lot of men, but I also killed a lot of men. I was outnumbered 2-1 there by the Venetians, and completely destroyed them. That's going to be end of turn for them. They are now sieged and pretty much defeated. So we'll go ahead and siege them out. That'll be my final part of this campaign. Should be pretty fun. It's going to be the end of the turn. Set these guys to replenish.
Wasza dostojność?
Actually, I'll go ahead and just finish this off. There's no point in sieging them out.
Wspaniałe zwycięstwo!
And there you go. That is a campaign victory for Poland, Lithuania. I could have showed you that last bit, but it would have been, you know, a ragtag army defending against my huge army, so probably not the most entertaining thing. I hope you all enjoyed the Poland-Lithuania campaign. I know this episode was probably a little short compared to some of the others, and that my micromanagement was none too stellar in that battle, especially since I completely forgot they're going to have me, like, surrounded from all angles. But hey, we pulled it off. So it was a fun one. Like I said, future campaigns coming up, USEGI campaign, and also a Rome campaign. I'm not sure which order I'll do them in. I'll figure it out, and they may be like coinciding with each other. But that's what I've got coming up, and also when I get back into town on Sunday, because I will be out of town for a little while, I will be putting up an online video, of course, for those of you interested in seeing those. So the campaign that brought us Patchy has finally been finished. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll also update my playlist soon so that you all can see it. Eric Carthage signing off for now, and I'll be back soon with more videos.